Alright, into our fourth round here with Bant humans, and we won the die roll, so let's see our opening hand. No two drops, which makes this a little awkward. We have Nissa to find land number 4, which is maybe good enough on the play. Not having a two drop is pretty tough though, especially with Dramoka's command. I don't think I keep this. I need to be able to play, I think, a little bit faster than that. Alright, this hand is much better. I'm gonna bottom the Displacer since we don't have colorless mana and we don't have blue mana. I'd like to find one of the two of those before I get a Displacer online. We also have no way to pump the Pacifist, which makes things a little awkward. So I think I will play the Inspector here on turn 1, since playing the Pacifist on turn 2 doesn't really buy us much without a way to pump it. At least this way maybe we can get in a damage or two with the Inspector. Looks like maybe another Mirror against a Prairie Stream on turn 1. I think the only deck that's playing Prairie Stream is, a Bant Company or a Bant Humans strategy. I saw some blue-white, like Tempo, blue-white Flyers, Rattle Chains, that sort of thing. So, yeah, looks like Bant Mirror number 3. Pacifist, and then we could play the Canopy Vista, and then Tireless Tracker will get us 2 clues with the Evolving Wilds, or we can play Evolving Wilds to make sure that we have an untapped basic for next turn so that we can Canopy Vista to play our 4th land. But I don't think we need a 4th land. If we had a Company in hand, I think that would be the play. But I'll just play the Canopy Vista so that we can get 2 clues out of the tracker. Also, playing Evolving Wilds would let us get a blue source untapped. So if we drew Reflector Mage next turn, then playing Evolving Wilds would have been better. But just based on what we have in hand, I think I like holding the Evolving Wilds for now. I'll double block if we get an attack here. And we're still just trading Pacifist for Pacifist. I'm just going to attack, actually, since it's pretty likely that our opponent's going to make the Thalia's Lieutenant into a 2-2, so the Thraben Inspector is not going to block if we leave it up for blocking purposes. They also get 2 clues, but we can fight Tyler's Tracker on our turn. I think we can make it a 3 or a 4-3 by cracking a clue, and then command to make it a 5-4. Depending on when they crack this Evolving Wilds, we could even do that with the fetch on the stack. Our opponent doesn't have any good blocks here because we can always put a counter on the Inspector if they block there, or double clue to eat the Tireless Tracker if they block there. Now we're going to be cracking this clue for sure, so I'm going to do that now. Get an extra damage in. Oh, I did it again. Misplays are not good. Hopefully we draw a land here. Nope, punished so hard. Oh lord, that's bad. I thought I wanted to keep the blue source open since it's our only blue source, but we needed green-white to be able to fight the tracker when our opponent goes to crack this Evolving Wilds. Well, at least we get to play Duskwatch Recruiter, but that was pretty bad. We want to be able to kill that tireless tracker as soon as possible. Yeah, that was painful. I'm sure that was painful to watch. I usually like keeping at least, one mana of each source available, just out of habit, but in that case, that did not make any sense. I think we missed our opportunity, and now we're just going to be way too far behind. Yeah, it's frustrating. Certainly not out of it, but we put ourselves in a pretty bad spot here. Cracking a bunch of clues is pretty good to see on our opponent's side. At least we got a turn off. Alright, I assume this is a Dromoka's command. I'm just going to take the damage. I don't think we need to chump yet. This is actually really good for us, because now we can play Nissa and Tireless Tracker. And then still have mana left over. So this is very good. Might want to save this for next turn. And just crack a clue. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm going to save the Evolving Wilds too, so that if our Nissa gets Dromoka's commanded in response to the flip trigger, we can flip it again with the Evolving Wilds. Yikes, that's a lot of clues. Reflector Mage, okay. I'm not really liking what's happening here. What's going away? Displacer is actually not that bad. I am going to chump block this time around. The Dromoka's command is still going to hurt us pretty badly here. Alright, that could have gone worse. I don't expect a Dromoka's command now, so I'm actually just going to fetch so that I have more mana next turn. Let's play Nissa. Let's flip Nissa. We're probably going to have to make a 4/4 here just to make sure that we keep up on board. They do have a Dromoka's command, they just chose not to use it? No, okay. I think we go up. That could be wrong, but... now we get to play a pacifist. Our Nissa's gonna die, unfortunately. Or are we gonna die? No, not yet. At least not on board. If they have pretty much anything, we're gonna die, but... I guess I should have made a 4/4. That was fairly suicidal. So even if they crack both clues, we can still kill the Tireless Tracker. Yeah, Company is pretty bad. Kind of forgot we had that card in our deck. We haven't seen it in a while. We're gonna need like double collected company on this turn, which could get us back in it, honestly. Land doesn't help. Land doesn't help. Another displacer doesn't help. Three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah, we're very dead now. Yeah, I don't know. I think we gave that game away. Unfortunate. Definitely not bringing in negates in this matchup. You know, it's only for the tokens matchup where I thought that was okay. I don't want to bring in the declarations either. From what we saw about our green-white opponent, declaration worked out pretty well for us anyway. So I think just these 5 cards is what I'm interested in. And on the draw, we can take out Dromoka's commands. The Ojutai's command is questionable. I think I'll take out a tracker, though. Displacer is maybe worse. It doesn't really feel good to displace their Thalia's lieutenants or their reflector mages. But it's good against some of the other stuff. Maybe I'll try taking one of those out instead of the tracker. Declaration is still good situationally in the matchup, just as a tempo play. If you get too far behind, you can declaration a couple of things and then have the time to rebuild a board. So it's not bad necessarily, but I think it's less good than I originally expected. And these... Looking at the mana in this deck, it does not feel good. Every opening hand is just a nightmare. Guess we keep. Need to get a plane so that we can play the Inspector. And probably play a Fortified Village next turn. Maybe we play the Evolving Wilds. Yeah, I guess I'll play the Evolving Wilds, get an island. Naked Lieutenant. Ooh, okay. That was a good draw. We get to slam for 1. Play a displacer. I don't really want to bounce our opponent's Thalia's Lieutenant. They only played it because it was their only available 2-drop, and they'd actually get better value out of it later, so putting it back in their hand doesn't seem great. Sure, Reflector Mage away. We're going to be doing the same thing. Problem is, what do we Reflector Mage now? I guess Reflector Mage or Reflector Mage? Since I don't really mind if our opponent wants to bounce our Inspector or Reflector Mage, or maybe we get to play a Den Protector and flip that. Then our opponent can bounce the Den Protector and we'd be very happy. The only thing we don't want bounced is the Displacer. Company. Only 1 hit, that's very good for us. Because now they can't attack either. Again, this is pretty awkward to have to bounce something that gets value when it comes into play, but it's only going to get bigger if it sits out there and play, and I don't want to give our opponent a good Reflector Mage target. So we get to crack a clue here. If they want to play a Reflector Mage, then I'm fine with any of these things being back in our hand. If I could have played Den Protector to get a spell back, I would have done that. Unfortunately, we didn't have that option. Okay. Sure. Ooh, Sigarda. Alright, now our opponent's gonna likely Reflector Mage the Displacer. Then we can play Sigarda. This is scary. Well, we definitely just pick off this recruiter. Don't want to see another Reflector Mage. For Mocha's command, we can probably play around. Declaration in Stone would be bad. Lieutenant's not great. Now we cannot play around Dromoka's command. Everything is much too big. Alright. I'm surprised at this attack. Actually, I'm pretty happy with this attack. Yeah, come on in. Come on, come on, come on. I don't know if this is the best block or not. It's the only way for us to kill two things. So I think that's probably the best block. And our opponent's only killing one of our creatures, actually. So I can play Displacer, have 4 mana up. Can play Den Protector, flip. I'd rather Den Protector, flip, and Reflector Mage all on the same turn next turn. I think play Displacer, play Pacifist, and then keep up 1 activation of Sigarda. It's the best thing for me to be doing. I wonder if I can even get in for damage here. Probably not. I think that's a little too greedy. Alright, digging for creatures is good. Tireless tracker, sure. Anything that doesn't kill me this turn is nice. So I don't think grinding will be an issue. I'm just worried about dying. I don't understand these attacks after my opponent spends all their mana. And I know exactly what to expect on board. Yeah. Alright, make another guy. Company. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 mana, so I can company and hold up Displacer. I don't know if this Den Protector is better off getting a company or a Reflector Mage. Probably company. Now I think I can actually start attacking, which is pretty nice. See what our opponent digs for. Avacyn. Well, that's a pretty good one. It's a good one to know about, though. And even Avacyn isn't that spectacular when we can just chump block. Since we know about it, we don't have to try to trade with our opponent's stuff. I think I want a company here. See if we can reset some of our opponent's creatures. I don't know, actually, is that true? If I make blocks, force our opponent to Avacyn, and then company, could be good for me. No, I kind of want the information so that I can make better blocks. So now I can make a Thalia's Lieutenant a 4/4. Guess I could have done that with the triggers on the stack if I was going to do it. I can also Displacer the Lieutenant, which seems decent. That'll kind of force some action from our opponent too. that's actually not very good. I think I'm going to chump block here. Oh, I have to block here as well. That was almost bad. Alright, sure, I'll chump those two. My plan is to make 2 tokens here to pump the Thalu's Lieutenant. Our opponent might actually even be dead if we can blink Thalia's Lieutenant a couple times and then just like pump our whole team twice. So we're threatening to eat 2 of our opponent's creatures. We chump block with 2 of our tokens. We take 4. Our opponent has to respect this in some way. If they play the Avacyn here, their creatures live, but then they just have 1 blocker back against our 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 power, and then they're just dead. So they can't Avacyn. They have to do something. They just conceded. Huh. Well, this match could end up coming to time, honestly. We both have close to 7 minutes left, but it goes by pretty quickly. On the play, I can bring in the commands. Planar Outburst is pretty bad against Avacyn. Didn't really think about that. I guess that's why Tragic Arrogance is a lot better in the mirror. Sigarda was insane. So keeping that one in. I'll keep the command in for Avacyn, I suppose. Displacer was pretty good. Grisboon I want to play. I'm going to take out the Duskwatch recruiters. They kind of fill the same role as Tireless Tracker in that they just keep you keep your hand full of action. But I actually like getting lands as well. The Tireless Trackers let you get, just drawing more cards, whatever they are. You end up wanting to make all your land drops. So the Recruiters, I find you spend a lot of mana to find a creature, but then you really just need to keep up on land drops. It's the important thing. Cutting Recruiter does make the Dromoka's commands a lot worse, though. Kind of want to cut some number of Reflector Mages, like 1 or 2. How many hits do we have with the commands, or with the companies now? 3, 7, 9, 6 is 15, plus 4, or 15, 18, 23, 25 is pretty good. I'm going to keep this one. It's good if we draw land. And at least we can play 3 2-drops. If our Duskwatch flips, then that could be even better for us. I don't think we really have a way to take advantage of it. We need land number 3 pretty badly. I do think 26 lands is a possible direction to take this deck, because every single hand has had like 2 land in it, and we want at least 3. And then we're certainly no shortage of ways to use our mana, so I don't think flooding out is a problem. Reflector Mage here, potentially. Our opponent curved out a lot better. Their land came into play untapped, ours didn't. Tireless Tracker. Yeah, it'd be nice if we could kill it, but not in the cards. I mean, we could 2-for-1 ourselves. Maybe not even the worst idea, but I think I'll just keep playing out Lieutenants. Hope our opponent doesn't have company. 2-drop, 3-drop company would be pretty tough. Yeah, we can't block. If we draw a land, I think we're in good shape. If we don't draw a land, I think we're in very bad shape. That's kind of what it comes down to. It's not a land. It's not the worst card, but it's not a land. Two cards in hand from the opponent. Avacyn would be horrific. Seems like they either have or they're looking for a Reflector Mage, which would also be pretty horrific. Tireless Tracker is not bad, though. I'm okay with that. Ugh, Evolving Wild, so brutal. No. We gotta hold. What's the best way to do that? Tireless Tracker or Dramoka's Command? I wish we could fight off that Tireless Tracker, but maybe it's more important to fight off... I guess we could fight off the smaller Tireless Tracker. Fighting off a Thalway's Lieutenant could also be important. We're not going to be short on cards, so I don't even know if we need to get double clues here. But it does pump our lieutenants. I don't know. I think I'm just going to do it because it's the mana efficient play, but I don't know if this is right. I'm going to get another green source because right now our second green source is a painful one, and I don't want to have to take damage unnecessarily. Here's a Reflector Mage. It might be a turn too late for our opponent with the Reflector Mage, but it's still pretty good. I think we're forced to chump this Tireless Tracker. We're going to try and kill this one, though. Dramoka's Command would be pretty bad, I think. I can't play around it, unfortunately. Try and do this. No. All right. Collected Company has to save the day. I'm not playing around Negate either because I'm assuming our opponent doesn't have that. Wow. Opponent whiffed. Pretty lucky. I really want to hit Reflector Mages here, so I think we took out a couple, right? Which was looking like a pretty bad decision. I think Displacer and Lieutenant is best for us here. So we can try to eat the two smaller creatures and then just chump block the passive or the Tireless Tracker. Okay, that worked. Spin the wheel. See what we got. They must have counterspells if they're digging in response to these companies, which I'm surprised about. Ooh, tireless tracker. That's... It's not the worst, but it's not great. Another company? Is that even what we want? I guess so. We finally whiffed. It was bound to happen, right? Ugh, this is gross. Yeah, whiffing there was disgusting. We have to take this. Oh, they had the negate. Oh, they finally drew it. Unreal. Wow. I mean, I guess we were going to lose this game anyway. So, good for our opponent for getting the victory. 0 seconds on the clock. But, yeah, in real life, we're going to lose that match, so our opponent deserves it. I don't know, missing on that second company was kind of tough. We stumbled on mana, and that was kind of the game. But we also took out our planar outburst. We didn't have our Declaration in Stone. We didn't have our Reflector Mages, so that sideboarding plan looked pretty miserable. 3-1, so we will head into the last round and see if we can get to 4-1 here.